bingo, 3 o'clock rock, Kyle Tanouye. Again, after some hiatus, we're here back again with Kyle, Talisman LLC, right?
Yes.
And they do fantastic tech things right here in Hawaii, but emanating from Hawaii all over the world. You know, Kyle has a fantastic vision, and he's able to think of these creative things. You know, watch him vibrate. Let's look at Kyle vibrate. Ah!
There must be some mistaken identity here. That's totally not me. But thank you for having me here.
Yeah, welcome to the show. So, you just rolled out or are rolling out a new project entirely different than anything we talked about before. We talked about some really interesting things you were doing, but this one is about romance.
It is, and it's really about bringing people closer together.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is, you know, it's really interesting because I see this as one of those, you know, disruptive kinds of things. You must also. It like Uber, all of a sudden you sort of remake a whole way of dealing among human beings.
Right.
You change the way people connect to each other, and we may have our society change because of your idea. Whoa! And you saw it here on ThinkTech too, you know.
Well, that would be great. I mean, that's really the thing that fuels us. It's the disruption, I guess that you call it, that we're comfortable in. It's not always that way. But we like to utilize challenges with technology to change the world and hopefully make it better.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, you know, we're in the nuclear age, we're in the 21st century. You know, in many ways, technology has made our lives better, but in other ways, it has put us in little silos. And we live in, you know, I hate to say this, I'm lowering my voice. You know, it isolates us because we sit, we look at our phone. We're connected, but we're, you know, like isolated too. And we go home and the same thing, you know, and we don't have the social time together. We don't really meet each other. And then you add to that, you know, all the couples that I know who got together with using Match.com and, you know, Christian Mingle, what have you, know, a bunch of others. I mean, there's lots of them now. And I'm sure they all compete, they all watch each other so they can figure out how to do that best. But a lot of people get married on that. I really mean it, they get married on that basis. Is that their whole life is, you know, is going forward, is defined by what happened on Match.com. But that's still not enough. It's actually, you know, sort of primitive compared to what you're doing. So I'm giving you a good lead up, you know, this is kind of. So, I mean, you know, the point is that is like simple compared to what we really need, you know, to be, quote, in the moment. Hold on for a moment, just 1 second. Alexa, what is In the Moment?
In the Moment is the second studio album by American DJ and producer.
Alexa, stop. She doesn't know everything. But, you know, there are different implications, different parameters that you're playing with here that really take it way beyond, you know, the standard dating type site. So let's talk about, in general, how does this work?
Well, the way it works is we are creating a new social networking platform that we believe will help evolve the way people meet and the way that we create introductions. The application is called Moment Romance, and it's actually in a series
Moment
of
Romance.
Moment Romance, and there's a lot behind the name, and it's a series of applications that we plan to develop that will utilize this new social networking platform. The social networking platform is really designed to increase your luck. So if you take it apart, actually I'm curious if you ask her or him, what's the meaning of luck?
Oh, sure, let's do that. Alexa, what is the meaning of luck?
The term luck has a few distinct meanings. As a noun, 1, your overall circumstances or condition in life, including everything that happens to you. 2, an unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that causes an event to result one way rather than another. 3, an unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that leads to a favorable outcome.
Had enough?
So, very interesting. You know, there's many definitions of it, and there's always that element of unpredictable based on circumstances. A common definition is when preparation meets opportunity. And the reason I bring that up is because we think that technology has the potential of increasing probability, potential, making us more skillful, but no one really has tapped into the opportunity aspect yet. When you look at opportunity, it's about, at least in the physical world, we need to be at the right place, right? Because their bodies have to be there. And when you talk about social communications, I mean, I'll debate with anyone that there's no better communication than being face-to-face with someone.
That's my point
Right?
too.
As good as social networking is, and it's great, I'm not knocking it at all. I can now talk to a friend on a daily, minute by minute, thousands of miles away. But there's no substitute by being next to someone and actually looking them
You know
in the
why?
eye.
You know why? Because we're mammals.
Right, it's in
We're
our
still
DNA.
mammals.
That's right.
After all this,
That's
we're
right.
still mammals.
And hopefully we always will be, right? Hopefully we always will be. As a technologist, you have to keep your mind open. But there's a lot of stories in the media that talks about how we're losing that touch with technology. And as a technologist, I always see things as expanding, getting smaller, expanding in waves of things, right? Sort of like the yin yang of approach. So with luck, it was about how do we use technology to make people more happy, more lucky in this case. And it was about putting them in the right place at the right time. Now, preparation is something that you do yourself, right? But being in the right place at the right time is not something that we often can calculate, right? And there's many applications. In our application here called Moment Romance, it's about those stories that all of us have heard. How did you meet your wife? I was playing tennis and this ball hit me in the head, and it was this lady that was on the other court, and we got to talking and we got married to her. A lot of that was that special romance, that beautiful stories that you hear about. The reality, though, is not all of us have those stories, and there are a lot of people that said, I don't know, I just never found the right person. I've been looking, but I just never found them. But in reality, if you were to put a little spy cam on them every day of their life, they're going to places like a Starbucks or a supermarket or a stadium at a football game, and there's hundreds, if not thousands of people that would have been their perfect friend, perfect match, maybe for marriage, maybe for friendship. That's all of us live in that world. It's that unfortunate or fortunate reality of life that we put ourselves in situations, and sometimes our blinders are on and we miss good friendships. We miss a potential life partner there.
Yeah.
So we asked the question.
Because there are barriers. There are social barriers.
Absolutely.
It's not like you can walk up to somebody in the street and say, I really think you're terrific. You get smacked or arrested. Yeah.
Well, maybe you can do good pickups with those. I think confidence is a big part of it. But you're absolutely right. Because as humans, we have so many things going in our mind. One is that we're always not conscious on it, right? And we don't really want to be like that. But the other thing is we're embarrassed, we're insecure, it's the lack of confidence. And so the question was that we're trying to fix is, how do you get someone confident about approaching someone for an introduction, whether it be for a date or to ask someone for a job interview?
Okay, good
Right?
question. How do you do that?
Well, a lot depends on intelligence. If I knew that you were hiring someone and you were looking for an engineer that I would fit, I feel a lot more confident to
Yeah.
approach you.
Yeah.
If I thought, there was a good-looking girl out there that I really wanted to meet, I'm married, by the way, so I'm happily married.
So am I.
So so we're just talking.
But we can dream, can't
That's
we?
right. That's right. And if I wanted to meet that person, without any intel, I wouldn't know if she was married, she was already seeing someone, and most importantly, would she even be interested in talking to a guy like me? All of those unknowns, those three things, would never approach them. Unless maybe I had a couple drinks, I had a good wingman that pushed me there.
How does that differ from Match.com and all those other, sort of simplistic, maybe it's unfair to say, but simplistic matchmaking sites?
No, that's a great question. So one of the things that, and I'm not knocking these match social networks at all. They're great because what they do is they give you access. They give you access to a database of people that you would never have met. The process for those systems, though, are very, very similar. They're exactly the same. The process is, one, you get a membership, you pay a little money, you get access to a database, and you start to search. Now it's your work. Your work is to find someone out there, find the profiles. The next process of that is communicate with them. Okay, so I'll share with you my personal, I'm probably the early adopters for these online matches. 15 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that.
Oh, that's a long time already.
Every birthday changes that. And I'll get back to it, but Moment Romance was actually a vision I had back then, but the technology wasn't good enough to apply to it. Yeah. So back then when I did it in my dating time, it was very secretive, right? oh, I can't tell anyone I'm on Match.com.
No, you're right. And you'd never walk into a room with a girl and say, I met her on Match.com. Everybody's,
Absolutely.
whoa, he met her on Match.com.
Absolutely, because it was a sign of like being a loser. You can't find people.
You can't find them
right?
by yourself. You need a machine.
That's right. But from a guy's perspective, maybe I can speak for myself, it's all about numbers, right? So the first thing as a technology guy, I looked at it and said, well, today I know 20 girls, 15 of them already have boyfriends, right? Online, I know 3,000, right? And there's a potential there. So my experience with my online dating is all the same. I'd go in, get a membership, week 1. Week 2, I'm sending emails. And I don't just send 1 or 2 emails, right? I'm sending hundreds. Why? Because the more that I send, the more possibility, the more choices I have.
Yeah.
Week 3, I find out, 100 didn't reply. I got 5 replying.
Yeah, okay.
Send out more emails. Okay, so then I send out 200-300, right? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's a lot. I became really good at email writing. Right? Then the problem is now I'm juggling these 10 people that are right, great, and then they fall off because they're doing the same things themselves. So I'm down to 8, well, week 4. Yeah. Then I start making some mistakes, right? I start calling Lucy and then, what? I'm not Lucy. and it's done.
It's
right?
like a sitcom.
Is it? And it is. And I don't think I'm alone on this, though. And guys are guys, so I'm sharing some embarrassing
That's
moments.
okay.
for
Nobody's
myself.
listening
No,
anyway.
that's great. So what happens is my list gets shorter, but in the process, I get to know about these people, and they know about me. I know about their lives, their brothers, their sisters. I feel like we're really good friends, but we've never met.
Yeah.
So the initial inclination was, well, it's great. I feel so close to this person. Week 5, hey, let's meet. Okay, I know you enough. Feel like you're my friend. Let's meet. So we set up this coffee, meet. Oh, but I got something busy this week. Let's meet it next week, week 6. Then we meet. In 5 minutes, we both assess that we're great friends, but I don't think there's going to be anything more than that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem with that. You're like my friend. How do I tell you that I don't think it's going to work? We just invested 6 weeks of our lives getting to know each other, and now we're finally meeting.
Painful.
It's very painful.
For both sides.
For both sides, right?
Yeah.
On top of that, I have to start all over again. So if this round doesn't work, there's a lot of pressure. We got to do something because I don't want to do another 6 weeks before I get another bunch.
Yeah.
So let's try again, right? So what happened in my experience was, I do that, not knocking it, met a lot of great friends, but the proportion was off. I would spend 4 or 5 weeks of my time getting a date, getting to the point where I could actually meet someone face to face. And getting to know people is about being together and actually meeting them, not to go on a hot date. It's about just saying hello, shaking hands, how was your day? That's the most personal thing that
watching them, watching the way they move, and
Exactly.
watching the expressions on their face and all that.
And I found in my own personal experience that I got better at being social about myself the more time I spent practicing meeting new people. But that whole process of online dating prevented me from doing that. It was too much work.
Yeah.
I had to allocate an hour every day doing this thing.
Like
So I went-
99% was that, and 1% was the
That's
actual
right.
meeting.
That's right. No instant gratification, which I kind of wanted, right? I wanted to speed up the process. And after a while, you get tired. And I think what many people experience is they try the online dating for various reasons, doesn't quite work out, and then they say, you know what, I'm going to take a rest. Because it does take work to do that,
Well,
right?
they've been traumatized in the first round.
It is. It is. And life is about time, right? And so, and I'm going to jump off real quickly, second, to just demonstrate what we're trying to do here.
Before you do that, was it sleepless in Seattle?
Actually, no. It was before that, actually, because I was in Seattle. I was with a girlfriend at
It
the
was a
time.
movie. Wasn't it a movie where they had a romance, like one of these Match.com?
It was radio. It was. I think it was radio. It's a little bit old school. Someone tuned in on the radio, and then they had that. Yeah.
We're going to take a short break. That's Kyle Tanouye of Talisman LLC with Moment Romance. Really got to hear more about this. I want to know everything. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. I hope that you will tune in and watch the show. It is inspiring and uplifting and educational. Also, we talk with artists of all different ilk. We talk with them about what they do, how they do it, and most importantly, most dear to my heart, why they do it. And it never ceases to be fascinating when you get the answer to that question. I hope you'll join us on Center Stage, 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoons. Aloha.
Hello, I'm Stephen Katz, and I'm the host of Shrink Wrap, which comes to you live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. on thinktechhawaii.com, and then it's repeated again whenever you want if you go to the website. On our show, we will be talking to all different kinds of therapists, psychologists, psychoanalysts, psychiatrists, people who talk about the mind, the brain, and about different ways to find happiness. I myself am a marriage and family therapist in practice here in Hawaii, and I hope you will join us because I've got a lot to learn, you've got a lot to learn, and it's a great ride. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Okay, we're back. We're live with Kyle Tanouye of Talisman LLC, who always comes up with these incredibly creative, if not disruptive, ideas in technology. He is a true blue-blooded technology person. Eats, sleeps, lives, breathes, and thinks technology all day long. That's why we like him so much. Anyway,
That's actually a nice way to say nerd. But I appreciate. I left my pocket protector at home, but
I didn't say it.
look for the ink spots.
Okay, so we're talking now about the difference, viva la difference, if you will, about, now enter moment romance. It's different than this process you described in the case of a Match.com type of site.
Right.
Now we're taking advantage of new technology.
So the problem that we're trying to solve is to help people meet people quicker, but not quicker just to be quicker. Quicker so that they can have that experience and get closer to the interpersonal relationships quicker. The challenge with the current systems was that there was all that set up, right? They had to do online research, and then it took them a while. And it's because the introductions were awkward. So we thought, the great opportunity is to optimize life. Optimize life meaning this morning you're at a Starbucks, and you're not there to meet people, but there are people around you. So how do you meet people that are also at the Starbucks that may want to meet you? Well, the first question is, would other people want to meet you? How do you find that out? Okay, so, that's already known. Social networking taught us that. If you had a profile and they had a profile and you both were like minds and you like to meet, it's just a matter of the two of you knowing that.
Yeah, you both have to express willingness. I mean, that,
Correct.
To commit to the process.
Correct.
And be willing to at least consider what the process
Right,
suggests
right.
to you.
So this equation or problem we're trying to solve has many different facets, right? And going through the process, it was, okay, the assumptions are we'll have two people in the course of a life that will end up in the same location. Now, why is that same location important? Well, it's important because they're both experiencing things that we don't think about today. If we're both waiting in a coffee shop, at face value, you may think, well, so what? They're both just standing each other. It's not the case. We're both experiencing full senses that we wouldn't normally have online. For example, I'm smelling the coffee. I'm hearing a customer yelling in the back because he's upset that he got the wrong coffee, right? I'm hearing the door creak that's interfering with, and that's why people are talking so loud. Now that may seem irrelevant, but all of those little things affect our behavioral mood at the time. Now, why is that important? Well, if you can get two people that want to meet that are also experiencing at that particular moment the same life experiences, you can create associations with them.
Here we go. It's happening on the screen. So why don't you describe what's happening on the screen?
So we have a video that kind of portrays the experience of what it is. So, going online dating today is troublesome. But in this case, you have someone that's just going through the open market. She gets notified that there's someone there that she likes to meet, and it sets up a quick introduction. She can send a little text and they can talk. If they don't want to meet, they walk away, no foul there. If they'd like to meet though, they can do that. Now, one of the potentials we see is that this is perfect for groups. So we try to make it a safe environment. Unlike dating today where there's a stigma of I have to do it private, this is actually a platform that you can take to a restaurant or take to a social gathering with your friends. Your wingman can actually participate in this.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. It's because you're not meeting someone privately to one-on-one as a date, right? You're meeting someone that is new that you've never met before. So that has a big impact. Meeting someone that you've been talking online for the last 6 weeks has a far different effect for someone that you just meet for 30 seconds,
Yeah.
right? The
There's no
letdown is
pressure.
less.
The pressure is less.
That's right. And pressure is everything.
It's like running into somebody and saying hi.
That's right.
Except that your chances are better if you meet through moment romance.
Exactly. Exactly, because there's a good way to look at it and bad way to look at it, but there's natural things. Everyone is we talked about earlier, lack of confidence, and we've all been in a situation where we felt hurt because the other person didn't want to talk to us. We've also been in the situation opposite of that, where we felt bad that we don't want to talk to them but needed an exit plan, right? So in what we've created is a perfect environment for that. So let's say you like to meet with a person, right? Then you can spend as much time as you want.
Yeah.
But if you don't feel it's right, all you have to say is, hey, I'm sorry, I'm on my way to work, because the person, and I have to go, right? Because the person doesn't expect anything more. He's not there
Right.
to meet you.
You haven't sworn eternal loyalty.
That's right.
As you know, in Match.com or that kind of site, your message, your badge here, is that you want to meet somebody you can date and marry,
Right.
and it's pretty serious business. And so when you finally get to the moment of truth, lots of pressure.
Right.
In this case, we're just hanging out.
Right. And in my online dating experience and dating in general, the pressure is the worst. It's the worst thing. It changes who I am with the
sure,
pressure.
sure.
The other person changes moods because of that.
Yeah. So you can't see each other clearly.
You can't see it clear. That's right. So that's why you have to go on several dates to see the real person come out,
Yeah.
and then you determine if it's right for you or not.
Yeah.
Right. So when we looked at this, we saw, hey, there's a great need for this to be able to make life better for many different reasons. And the ones that we try to focus are maybe my big goal in this is to help put an end to loneliness. That's my childhood.
This is a great gift. And this is a great gift, and this is the kind of thing that disruptive technology is all about.
Hopefully it will be, because my vision is, and I get often asked that. So Kyle, what would make you happy to die if you saw this delivered? And I said, what would really be happy is if I saw smiles on people's faces, and because they've met each other with this. And it doesn't always have to be about love or marriage. It's a greater love. It's about humanity, right? People becoming closer, being able to learn about each other's lives and empathize with it.
Yeah.
So that's the big dream for this.
Guys, I run a parallel for you. Here we are in ThinkTech, and it's you and me, and we're refreshing our relationship after about 3 years, and I'm really enjoying this, okay?
Same here.
We're having a mammalian experience,
That's right.
okay?
Well, Jay, if I can, remind, the way that we met was through a common friend,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
That's how life is today. But
Yeah.
had Keith
yeah,
not been there,
We would never have met.
That's right.
yeah.
So what we're trying to do is give you more friends.
Make a common friend.
Even common friends.
Yeah.
And Moment Romance will be that friend that is smarter than all of our friends, because they'll have access to all these other larger network,
Yeah,
and they're with us all the time,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Keith is not with me all the time, so he can't introduce me to all of his friends.
You could call upon this anytime you want.
Exactly.
With Keith, you had to talk to him, call
right.
him, meet him by accident or otherwise,
That's right.
and it wasn't an immediate availability. This
right.
is immediate
That's
availability.
right.
Yeah.
And when I look at my own life, the greatest things that happened to my life, if I were to look back, most times happened by chance. My business partner, Dwayne Creaser.
Yeah.
I met him because I met a friend that I was coming back from the mainland eating lunch at Chez Pasta. And I said, hey, Carl, what are you doing here? I said, I'm just going back for lunch, and you gotta meet this guy. Changed my life, right? So that's the kind of thing that I think, had I not been at the right place at the right time, my life would have gone a different path. Now, he'll probably disagree. You shouldn't have been there.
I think all of us can say that. All of us can say there were opportunities that skipped us by, and it was a matter of luck or maybe not luck.
Right.
Joss or not Joss,
Right.
And so if we can change the formula, we become empowered
Right.
over our own destiny, actually.
Absolutely.
We have,
Absolutely.
it's all about making choices, but before you make the choices,
That's right.
that's an old legal thing. You must know the options. So if you have more options, you can make better choices.
Right,
you know?
right. And there's another element in that, in addition to being at the right place, it's about the amount of investment that you make into it. So I'll jump off real quick to the other implications. So for example, the same experience that I shared about the online dating is replicated almost to a T when I look at a business application, which is hiring new engineers. Okay, so what do? I pay a company some money to get access to a database of people. And the database of people, I'll tell my HR manager, please do a research for me, pull out 20 of them, schedule something. So I'm waiting 2-3 weeks. The 4th week, I get an interview lined up. Right? So I'm sitting in front of all these people, okay, talking. And within 5 minutes, I know if they're the right fit or not. And if many cases, it's not a right fit. We went through all 10 of them, let's do it again, okay? You gotta push it out another 5 weeks.
It takes so long, and the chances
Takes
of
long.
making a mistake are so huge.
right.
And the amount of investment in time. We have a tweet, Kyle. Let's see. What would you say to people who think moment romance sounds just like Tinder?
Great question.
Okay.
Great
What
question.
is Tinder first?
So Tinder is one of the most famous dating applications today, and what it does is it does a great job in speeding up the process of meeting. So compared to an online dating service where you have to work and look at the profiles, Tinder is simple. You don't really need to know the whole background of a person. You look at a picture, and if you like the way they look, you like them. If you don't, you put them out. If you have a match because both people like how you look physically, then you can start talking. So Tinder is very focused on physical attributes. It's about how someone looks. If I have a great picture and I'm a handsome guy, I'll get more. If I'm not going to get any, right? But the benefit of Tinder is that it's fast and it's light conversation. For moment romance, is different. We're not about the physical all. It's more than that. So if you, for example, in Tinder, you can't really find out the person, information about him. You can click through his Facebook, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. But in our system, you won't get the noise. So I was talking to a woman the other day, and she reminded me how difficult it is to be a woman. So I explained to her, and we're talking about Tinder actually. I said, on Tinder, I do all these like, and no women responds back to me. Experimental, of course, right? Because I'm married happily, right? But I'm not getting any responses. She said, so I asked her, how many do you get? She says, I have 100 a day. So I said, wow, you're good looking, but I didn't think you're that good looking, right? So we're joking. And she says, no, I don't think so either, but I get a lot of men that like me. And she says, I can tell the ones that are just liking me, swiping me because I like it. But her problem was, I can't tell who's good or bad. So she has faced with this huge database of guys that say they like her or are interested in her, and she has to choose purely by a picture.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Sometimes the picture lies.
Right. Now, it depends. I'm not judging. People look at these dating applications for different reasons. So some just want it for a casual date, and others want it for something more meaningful. I think with moment romance, you can get both, right? But it's designed where it's more than just a casual swipe. A couple things, there are major differences. Tinder is more of a one-to-one. I'm looking at it to find someone, and then again, you have that privacy issue on. I'm not going to tell my friends, hey, I'm on Tinder, and I find all these guys. Secondly, it's purely based on visual, right? And thirdly, there's no instant gratification on it. I think instant gratification, in the way we're using it, is a very high form of it. It's not instant gratification to just get something you want right now. In moment romance, when you talk to someone, you know that that person is there to meet you and can meet you in that very moment. In Tinder and these others, it's always a setup. There's a possibility that you're swiping someone and they text you, and yeah, I'm actually in downtown outside of Jay's office, right? But that's remote.
That's remote.
In this case, you're not wasting time talking to someone that, actually, by the way, I'm in Europe and I'm away for 10 months. Right, you're not going to have that.
Yeah, why do you have that? Yeah,
So
there's no benefit there.
Right, so the difference is that we try to make things faster. You're not wasting time for that, and the people that you're meeting are filtered out. So for women, they're rest assured that they're choosing. There's no people pinging you, right? She can look at a list, find the guys based on that she's interested in. Guys can do the same thing. It's all option-based, and it's less pressure.
Okay, in 1 minute, we're going to find out, because we don't know yet exactly how this works. We're going to look at some screenshots. We're going to see how this works, how you use it, how you sign up, how you go down the path, and how likely it is to satisfy your needs. We'll be right back.
Aloha! How you doing? It's me, Angus McTech, asking you to come join us on ThinkTech Hawaii Hibachi Talk. Join me and my two hosts, Gordo the Tech Czar and Ender the Security Guy, every Friday from 12:45 till 13:45. See you on Fridays, and remember, let your wing gang free wherever you be.
Aloha, you can join the Hawaii Farmers Series every Thursday from 4 to 5 on ThinkTech.
And I'm your co-host, Matthew Johnson, here with Justine Espiritu.
And we are so thankful to have this show to use as a forum to get to know all the movers and shakers in agriculture in Hawaii and hear kind of their background and history, as well as
their perspective on what they're doing and also the future for agriculture in Hawaii.
So join us every Thursday. You can tweet in your own comments and suggestions and be a part of the conversation at ThinkTech High. And we hope to see you every single Thursday.
Bingo, we're back here at 3 o'clock Rock with Kyle Tanouye and Talisman LLC, which has developed and is rolling out a program new, and I consider it disruptive myself, Moment Romance, a new social networking app that puts you at the right time and place for Valentine's Day. Did you plan this for Valentine's Day?
It was good timing. It was good timing.
Anyway, so we got some screenshots, and Kyle, if you don't mind, I'd like you to take us through the experience. Let's have a case study.
Sure. So the way Moment Romance works is we create these little ecosystems. And what the ecosystem is this is where people meet, this is where they can talk. So if you think about it, it's like how Facebook works today, where it doesn't matter where you are. You can be at your desk and you can reach out to someone and talk to them. In the Moment Romance world, you have to put yourself in a place that is geofenced. So geofence means that in this case, it's a building, there's a Starbucks there, and our system automatically creates a little fence. The fence is important for a number of ways, which I'll get into later, but it's where you have to be in to see a list of members there, and that's the only way you can to request what we call a moment chat. It's just a standard chat session.
Okay, so I don't want to talk to anybody in Bulgaria.
No.
I want it within a short distance geographically.
Right.
Okay.
And again, there's a reason for that. So we give you a map here. So there's two ways to use the system. There's an active way and there's a passive way. Okay, the active way is, this is the main screen. Simple, no more screens than this. You look at the map and you have these little icons on it. So the red icons indicate hotspots. These are find me here locations. The ones that have our logo on it, the heart logo, are the ones that you can actually check into. Again, we're very conscious on privacy, so we don't want anyone to be able to see you if you don't want to be seen. But we also require you to only get into an ecosystem when you are physically there. So the heart icons are where you can check into. We give you, GPS is not always accurate, so you could be at one place and maybe check into 2 or 3 locations.
So it's like lurking, isn't it?
Well, you mean like a stalking kind of thing?
Yeah, well, not stalking, but lurking, being there and not saying you're there.
Oh, no, yeah, well, so we get a lot of those questions. It's like, well, it's sort of like kind of scary, right? People can see me there. So that's the thing. No one can search for you. The big difference is that no one can search for you unless they're actually at the same location.
Okay.
So you won't be able to see other people unless you're physically there. Now, critics will say, that's junk because I can't see a lot of people. Why do you want to see them if you can't meet them? Well,
Yeah.
because I'm curious.
Yeah.
No, if you're curious, go to that location, put yourself up on the table and meet them as well, right?
Yeah.
So we raised the bar on being able to reach out people. Now, the way you reach out for people, the experience is if we go to that 1000 Bishop Center, you would be asked to check in.
So, okay, so I see it on that map. I click on that map.
Well,
I say, you can see me.
Right.
You may see me.
It would ask you permission. It would say, Jay, would you like to check into 1000 Bishop? There are 3 people here that would like to meet you.
Yeah.
And if you can say, nah, I'm busy today, I got to meet with Kyle.
Yeah.
Or you can say, yeah, why not? If you click yes, you'll see
So
the
it's
list.
actually going to come to you.
Yes.
It's there. It's always, in fact, it's asking if you want to participate.
So you've anticipated. The second way to use it is a passive way, where you can forget about Moment Romance, leave it on your smartphone, put it in your pocket. And as you live your daily life, you're going to the supermarket. You're driving your car.
Yeah.
They'll call you and say, hey, Jay, there's a Starbucks around the corner. There's 2 people that would like to meet you. You want to meet them or just pass
Meet
them?
me or meet somebody like me.
Someone like you.
Okay.
Someone like you. Because they don't really know who you are until you tell them who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, by this time, everybody in that little geospace has signed into the system.
Correct.
And has put some kind of profile information in,
Correct.
right? They're not just anonymous.
Right.
And they've told you a little about themselves, and
Right.
you have a database on that, and so have I.
Sure.
Everybody in the geospace is known.
Right.
Well, but by name?
So some of the screens here show you, like, this is a typical profile.
Yeah.
And in this case, everything is voluntary.
Yeah.
So she can put a fake name there. She can put a real name. It's a display name.
Yeah.
She can tell an introduction. She can put her picture up. Now you can put a fake picture up there, but again, it's garbage in, garbage out, right? If I put a picture, and the benefit of our system is if I put a picture of a beautiful girl like this, and then eventually within 30 seconds I'm going to have to meet someone, they're going to say, no, you're not the girl.
Yeah, you've
So-
been fooling me.
Yeah,
I really don't want to spend time with you. You've been fooling me.
That's right, and there's no loss, right? Because you spent probably a few minutes chatting, and
yeah.
it's not like you spend months and years getting to know me and find out I'm not a girl.
But she has no credibility when she
That's right.
she falsifies information.
Right.
Yeah.
So the bad guys that would be tempted to use and abuse a system like this won't go far. They won't go far. There's no reason for them to invest in a system because they can't talk to someone other than they're physically there. And when they're physically there, the person will know that they're lying.
Well, do they describe in their profile what they want out of the, always looking for?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So-
suppose, I mean, I know this is going to happen. Suppose I say, I'm looking for an overnight quickie, okay?
Okay.
And so the person in the room there can see that I'm looking for the overnight quickie.
So we don't
And-
have those as one of the options on our profile. That's something that you would have to communicate through a chat.
Okay.
To the other person.
After we connect.
Right.
Through Moment Romance.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Now let's play out that scenario. So in this chat that's shown on the screen here, this is how typical dialogue that we'd like to see, right? No,
Okay, yeah.
no cookies in here, but how's your day going? Telling them a joke, right? Taking a picture of your food, right? So I love this part because I'm still a little bit of a romantic. I love it where
It's okay.
you haven't really met, but then you can share the experience. So this is what we call the dance, right?
Yeah.
Two people not really
The
meeting each
dance.
other, right? But they're kind of guessing, right? Because at that point we don't know where you are, and I'm sure people are looking where they might be.
Yeah, right,
Right.
right.
But how cool is it now with your friends, right? If you and I were there, we're both single, right? And I say, hey Jay, I'm talking to this girl, right?
Yeah.
I can share with you, and I ask you as a wingman, what should I tell her? I don't know, take a picture of your food and tell her if she likes it. So I'll
Yeah,
take a picture
yeah,
of that, share it.
Yeah.
We're sharing things a little bit step by step. It's a dance.
You're
right?
breaking the
Closer,
ice.
Breaking the ice. And at some point, I'm going to say, you know what? My friend Jay wants to go home. I got to go. But can I just say hi to you before I leave? Now, what girl would say, no, absolutely not, right? Unless I gave her the heebie-jeebies or something, right? And
Yeah.
there's a out for that.
Yeah.
So she'll say, yeah, why not? I'm here with my girlfriends at the bar. Then I-
15 feet away.
15 feet away, right? I'll walk up there. She's going to assess. I want to see you again. Maybe not in my case, right? Okay, great.
You're married. Yeah.
Yeah, married her, right? But, and there's no heartbreak, right? It's not like I love her. I've just met her.
Yeah.
So then the benefit of that is every night, every day, I can have that experience. So
Over and over with different
over and
people
over with
all the
different
time.
people. That's right.
A
And that's the-
kaleidoscope of people.
That's the beauty of it. Because here's what I think the good part is the more people experience this, the more people they meet, the more friends they'll meet, casual friends. The next time I come to a bar, there's a good chance I'll know 10 people because I've talked to them on there. Hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. No
Yeah.
love relationship, but
Yeah.
it's great, right?
It's like an introducer, and in the human condition, introduction is very important.
Right.
It's just the way it breaks down the barrier, it legitimizes the players
Absolutely.
and so forth. This acts as an introducer.
Right.
Therefore, you can be introduced on command, anytime, in any
Exactly.
geolocation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We put a lot into the privacy and, because giving strong technology requires a strong responsibility to protect the abuse of it.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we like about this is with a geofence comes a strong protection. So there's a couple scenarios. So let's say you're talking to someone and you don't like them, or they're saying weird things like come, like you said, right? Quickie or whatever. I can block them. Now blocking them has a different effect.
On command, bang,
On command,
you're blocked.
but then you're blocked.
Yeah, you don't exist for me.
Don't exist. And not only don't you exist. So one thing, you never knew where I was. You knew that we're at the same location. But once I block you, you can't search me. Unless I was foolish enough to tell you my phone number ahead of time, you can't search me. You can't find
You
me ever
know,
again.
that's the modern day equivalent of get lost creep.
It is. Well, and we've actually put in special technology in here that sort of buffers it. So say, for example, we're chatting and I have this weird feeling, then I get afraid. So I just leave. Okay,
Yeah.
with the geofence, we actually delay it a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you leave, you actually, and it's intentional, right? I'm leaving.
Yeah, I see.
And you're chatting, and you're waiting, right? Because you're waiting for the chat,
Yeah.
but I'm safely gone. And
Yeah.
then we pop up and say, sorry, your moment chat has ended.
Yeah, and it's not like the guy can watch you leave,
That's right, that's
the
right.
blip goes off the screen and he can see
That's
who's
right.
leaving.
He'll never be able to see you,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
you're just gone. Now, there's actually a good way to look at that. I've watched romantic movies all my life, right? And there's a show called, I can't remember it, it's the one with John Cusack and Serendipity. So Serendipity is about that show that they meet and he wants his number and she says, and it flies away. And he says, no, if it's meant to be, we'll meet each other again. So it's kind of a weird situation, but I kind of want to see these stories where people have met through moment romance, but technology kind of messed up. They lost their cell signal or something, and they lost it, and they can't find each other.
Yeah.
And then they search for each other with the system.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to do that because you can't Google someone and find them.
Oh, okay. Well, can you suppose one blip walks out of the room?
Yep.
And the other fellow, he wants to pursue that.
Yep.
Does he have an option, or is it gone?
It's
dead.
gone.
It's dead.
Well, there's no
She turned
search
him
bar.
off, all
Yep,
finished.
there's no search bar. If she blocked him, he will never ever see her again.
In that
here.
location
In
or any other
Any
location.
location.
So we have another screenshot? Okay.
Yep.
So let's go through the rest.
So we're very location centric. So in this case, and this is part of the business model of it, we create these safe environments that are typically public or in a restaurant, in addition to increasing the possibility of you meeting someone, will help you save money with a coupon from this business, right? Save 10% off pancakes and enjoy it, right?
So I see. So the one geolocation is the cafe there, the Eggs and Pancake Cafe.
That's right.
So there you have an interest in drawing people in on this program because they'll have some business out of it.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
And so
It's your retail background speaking.
That's right.
All
And
that
actually-
stuff you wrote in retail.
That's right. So a little bit of my background. So actually, Moment Romance is a child of many different parent generations prior to
Yeah.
that. So what we've done is we've connected a location-centric social platform to a very retail-centric advertising platform that's on digital. And when you put the two together, that's the only way that we could get this. Because if you look at all the other dating sites or even social networks, their definition of location is, we'll connect you with the people in Honolulu. You tell us how many miles around you want to see. That's their definition. On the other end of the spectrum, you have Find Me, Friends, where I can find out where Jay Fidel is right now. You're in the bathroom of this building, right? And I can only know that because you've given me permission. I can stalk you.
Yeah, that's not really.
That's right. And it's opposite ends of the pendulum.
This is a defined geolocation. It's
That's
not
right.
that big.
That's right.
And you can see all the players in there, and you
That's
can
right.
zoom in on. Let's finish the screenshots.
These screens, just show how a chat works. Basically, one person goes out there, they see a list of members, they can request a chat. If the other person would like to participate and talk to them, they can. If not, they ignore them, right? So you would have it's still the same process. You introduce yourself. So that goes to the profile. You want to tell details about yourself, who you're looking for, to make sure that you're not wasting your time or someone else's.
It's a fabulous, clever idea.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully people will agree.
Okay, well, let's try to help them. There's your camera 2 over there, and there's your market. Those are the people, the kids, everybody, who might use this. Tell them in closing why they should consider this and how they can get it.
Oh, great. So I think Moment Romance, we would welcome everyone to give it a try. It's a free application that you can download. We're launching officially Valentine's weekend. And give it a try, and we really encourage you to use it for your friends. Download it together, go to a location that has other users, and give it a shot. We think it'll change your experience, and don't take things too seriously. It's not a matter of hooking up immediately or finding the love of your life. I think to get that type of relationship takes a lot of smaller introductions, is what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the 21st century, in the nuclear world, in the world of, all the technology we have around us, it's a little bit of humanity, and that's your gift in this program.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
We're trying. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you very
Great
much,
to
Jay.
talk to you.
Thank you.
See you in
Pleasure.
3 years.
Okay, hopefully sooner. Thank you very much.